أهلا وسهلا بيكم fourth year English section part دكتور بهاء Auditing and Assurance Service chapter 7 Nature and Type of Evidence part 1. In this section we will discuss the nature of evidence and for audit evidence decision and specify characteristics that determine the precision of evidence. First, nature of evidence. Evidence is any information used by the auditor to determine whether the statements are fairly presented according to established criteria. There are four audit evidence. They are as follows. Number one, audit procedure, which is the detailed instructions that explain the audit evidence to be obtained during the audit. For example, verification of cash disbursement. So the auditor examines the cash disbursement journal. Number two, sample size. Once an audit procedure is selected, auditor can verify the sample size from one to all items in the population. As the previous example, in an audit procedure to verify cash disbursement, suppose 6,000 and 600 G and electronic transfer are recorded in the cash disbursement journal. So the auditor might select a sample size of 50 disbursement for comparison with the cash disbursement journal. Number three, for evidence decision is item to select. After determining the sample size for an audit procedure, the auditor must decide which item in the population to test. As the previous example, the auditor can select a week and examine the first 50 transactions. Also, the auditor can select the 50 disbursement with the large amount. Number four, timing. The timing decision is affected by when the client needs the audit to be completed. There are two determinants of precision of evidence. They are as follows: the appropriateness and sufficiency. The appropriateness means a measure of the quality of evidence, meaning its relevance and reliability in meeting audit objectives for class of transaction, account balance, and related transaction. Sufficiency means the quantity of evidence and is measured by the sample size and auditor select. So, appropriateness measures the quality and sufficiency measure quantity. So, there are six characteristics of reliable evidence, and the reliability of evidence refers to the degree of which evidence can be believable or worthy of trust. For example, if an auditor counts inventory, that evidence is more reliable than if management gives the auditor its own count amount. And reliability depends on the following six characteristics. Number one, independence of provider. The evidence obtained from a source outside the entity is more reliable than that obtained from within. Number two, effective of client internal control. Number three, auditor direct knowledge. Number four, qualification of individual providing the information. Number five, degree of objectivity, and this means evidence is more reliable than evidence that require consideration judgment to determine whether it is correct. Number six, timeless. The timeless of an audit evidence can refer either to when it's accumulated or to the period covered by the audit. Precision and cost. In making decision about evidence for a given audit, both precision and cost must be considered. The auditor goal is to obtain a sufficient amount of appropriate evidence at the lowest total cost. وبكده نكون انتهينا من الجزء الأول من chapter 7.